today at the races for Friday. Here with Keith Fustel as per usual. Prices abound yesterday. Kind of bookended with some double-digit prices. We had let me double check, a $92 and $40 winner to close off Thursday's racing yesterday, Keith. You delivered, though, in the first race. I think you had the nice cold exacta that you gave out to start off
in
Thursday.
Vail, we had the best bet of the day at
Yeah.
a little over 4-1. Got it done. We had some good picks, and Charlie Marquez, a big day.
Yep.
3 wins for him. A really good ride on that 17-1 shot for Lynn Ashby on the turf. Very patient. He got a little bit of tight, maybe 3/8 pole. Worked out a trip outside the last 8th and really closed up well. Brother Conway kind of stole the show. Kieran with some big efforts. He had Bob Marco not too long ago. Brother Conway just scorched him in the ninth. Took it right to Bick around the turn. See you later. Opens up by 6 and change. 93 is the buyer figure they stamped on that one. Got it done at 109 and 1. So that was a pretty big performance for Brother Conway and Sheffield Stables.
We'll see if Kieran, we'll talk a little bit later about a potential another Kieran McGee show stealer. We'll get to that in a little bit, though. Taking a look at what we have, track is fast, turf is firm today. Cloudy. It's not partially cloudy. It's cloudy today, Keith. But it's great. We love that. The horses love it. I think it's going to be a great racing day here today. Just getting into this first race, just to set a preface, we've had so many prices yesterday that kind of sets up what this whole weekend has been like as far as, I mean, for you handicapping, has it been like that a bit?
It's been good. It's been fun. It's a challenge. You know, we're looking for some prices. We were around it pretty much, you know, the whole card yesterday. That last race got us. But you know what? I used that horse last time, the Jerry Robb horse, and I don't know, let that one fall through the cracks. Did not see close to post 45-1. I would have gone up and bet a deuce on that one. I mean, that's ridiculous. You do not let a Jerry Robb horse go off at that kind of price. So, I mean, we've got challenges galore on these cards, bigger fields, turf holding up, you know, it's good. We've got the turf. We've got the late pick 5 carrier. We'll talk about that later today. We've got a carrier. It was that difficult. You know, only 4 or 5 yesterday. So,
but it makes it so exciting, Keith.
It's good. It's good for the better. Handle was up, I know, comparatively to that day last year. So we're loving life. We're glad you're along. And please, don't be scared to dive into these cards and open up the wallets and pump them through the machines and through, you know, give the tellers a little bit of money, too.
Push it. Let's dive in intellectually to this card, though. Here in race number 1, this is a claiming 5,006 furlongs on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up. No scratches in this race, but you have the number 9, Noble Bid, on top. This is in the barn, of course, Damon Deal DeVico, Martina Rojas with also the blinkers on. Yeah,
interesting. Kieran's got a couple horses in here. The 3, away to return for our friends at Old 9 Racing LLC. Noble Bid. You know, they just, where you thought they were going to maybe just take off, they haven't quite lived up to what we thought or kept going. I think both deserve a really big look in here. Noble Bid drawing outside with the Bug Rider, the blinkers going on, I think might be the speed of the speed and can go ahead and clear and go. Have some big races on the page. And what I liked last time, really had some trouble. Broke out, bump, see the steady going into the turn. That was it. So some kickback, but stayed on evenly. Gives me a little hope. Blinkers go on, I think, set sail outside. I think the 3's another one. Off of that race at Timonium, tracked a very quick pace, got through along the rail and kicked away. I maybe like a way to return at 5.5, maybe a little bit better than 6, but I think she's going to make her presence felt. If things get heated, look for the 6. We've got a video of performance anxieties last race, right?
Yes, we do. That last time out over at the Bull Ring at Timonium.
Yeah, at Timonium. And you see the comment, rail blocked coming into the stretch, off the duel, under a little bit of pressure here, but just wasn't able to kind of get that clear run there. It just paused and steadied, and there's the check. But still trying. We're going to go first off the claim. We've seen some pretty good performances from this one over on this racetrack. I think if things, you know, do get contested, this is your best closer in here. There you go. There's my take on race 1. 9-6, 3-5, sneaky cheeky, maybe turning back in distance. I don't know. It's a kind of an interesting move on the drop, but I'm going to key around those 3.
Race number 2 kicks off the early pick 4. Let's go ahead to Keith's ticket. Let's see what you got for us today, Keith. No singles again. This is, and I don't see a lot of singles happening throughout the whole of the weekend today, Keith.
No, we did hit it yesterday. Albeit it was, I paid like $44.
There you go.
Put 27 in. We didn't lose, but it could have been anything. That's That's the kicker. I mean, I thought it was still challenging. It just happened to be some shorter prices came through. Let's get you started. Race number 2 with the 3 and the 6. Harbor Moon for me is going to be my top selection. Race 3 is a spread. 1, 6, 7, 10. Akati's Verb at 8-1 on the line. It's going to be my top selection. Race 4, 2 deep with the 1 and the 10. Red Wind. Pay attention, though. The 12 and the 13 do come in. Beautiful Star. I'm sorry. Feathers and Brummagem come in race 4. And race 5 with the 3, 5, and 6. $24 for that early pick 4 ticket.
And it does begin in this maiden special. Wait a mile and 16th on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old scratch in the 11. Amani's Tiger, the 12, Go Take Charge. Those are the AEs anyway. Keith, you go with Harbor Moon on top. This is in the barn of Mike Trombetta. Johan Rosado gets the call.
Yeah, second off of a break. Gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, second time. God, I got a lot of notes on this one. Second time Lasix on the turf. And I go back to a race as a 2-year-old. I've kind of caught some horses out of that's the Candidate Prowling Tiger race. Candidate is a stakes winner. Prowling Tiger in a other than winner. This horse has, the ability to get fairly close and I think just grind it out. That's what it's going to take to win this race. 5-1 on the line. I'll take something close to that. I think that's right.
Okay,
And Pavani, or Pavoni, however we're going to say it, is improved definitely. Second time gelding. That was a big change. First time gelding, a big effort. We've got video of that one.
We do, of
at
that
Delaware.
last time effort at Delaware for that maiden 32. Humphrey takes the call again from this effort.
Yeah, this one was just kind of slow to begin its career. Wasn't showing a whole lot off the break from February to August. First time gelding. Made that inside move around the final turn. Shifts out 5 wide. A steady progression. Just can't quite get up. But a protect move here. Back into the maiden special weight ranks. That number's kind of gaudy, 76. If he brings that to the table, he'll win it. But I think he's a user from off the pace. I think Hard Traveler. He's Hard Traveler. He's kind of what he is. He moves outside to inside. He's got that, move that kind of just, not a sharp run. But if he settles in mid-pack and the flow is relaxed, I think he stays the trip in here and will definitely influence the outcome. I think he hits the board. He did it to firster. You've got this one in the mix. You got any breeding notes? Charlie Marquez, who has teamed up with Delacour. I've got him if you don't have him.
I think I might have him. Let me just scroll to that race.
Okay.
But feel free to pop
Okay,
them off.
Lovely Star. I'll give it to you. Turf winner on the bottom side. But 2 debut winners out of this mare with a barn that can get a horse to go long. First time out of the box. It's been a little bit better with the younger ones, the 2-year-olds. The 3-year-olds only 2 for 18, 5 for 18 in the money with this kind of move. But I fear the Delacour barn. Those horses have been running well. Who's the other horse you may want to touch on? Arno Delacour's got the 4. Your top selection is a Speed Threat. And what are your thoughts on the 5? Hurrying Home for Brittany Russell.
I think I did have notes on this one. I just had this one. This one's likely one pace between the early trouble and not able to really overcome that trouble. I say just shoot to the front. That's my take with them. These slower works out of the gate, it differs from a work coming off of just a flat work from the pole. So any gate works are a huge indication of what you're going to be seeing, because if you can see the September 22nd work compared to the October 1st work, that just tells me this is a one pace kind of guy. And Brittany Russell, however, has been doing fantastic, not as much with her first time turf starters, but her second time turf starters. 7 for 21 as of lately, 2 seconds, 2/3 to add to that. So quick math, 33% as a barn trend, second time turfers for Brittany Russell.
Didn't get much of a chance down at Gulfstream back in February in debut. A little trouble early, hung out, and just never kind of kicked it in against a better field. Carl Spackler, that winner, also keys up with Harbor Moon. Carl Spackler was a winner of a grade 2 and a grade 3 after that. So that was a pretty salty group down there at Gulfstream. I go 3, 6, 1, 7.
A lot of options here in race number 2. Race number 3 is a claiming 5,000 for the second leg of the early pick 4. Mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. You go with Akati's Verb.
Yeah.
This is your first value play of the day. Carlos Mencia, Richard Monterey, they've been teaming up well together lately.
Yeah, it's an interesting race because I'll touch upon a couple other horses first because I think they're going to be part of the flow. Okay. That's Jason Takes Long, also trained by Carlos Mencia, a barn that's 2 for its last 7. 3 for 7 in the money with an 8.29 ROI. The barn is picking it back up. So Jason Takes Long. Hasn't wanted the distance, but I think lack of real flow in here is going to put him up front. And the 10 Ace 9-9 Tossed the race, little jump up in the starter at Timonium. Did not come away from the gate too well. Got dropped back and never involved. But this is one that's run some okay races over this racetrack. I think those two, they stay around. They're going to be part of that flow. But Akati's Verve was just in the wrong condition last time. An open 8 comes back to the condition claimer today. I think the mile is going to suit perfectly. Monterey, the fast track. This one's going to save ground early and then swing out into a little swoop move. I think he's going to run into it a square price.
And there we have it, 6, 7, 10, 1 for Keith Fustel in race number 3. Race number 4, the third leg of the early pick 4, is a starter optional 12.5, a mile on the turf, not on the dirt. For the girls, 3 and up scratch, the 2 Viking Queen, the 8 Clayton's Candy, the 9 Dotada, and then the AEs, 14, 15, and 16, the 12 and the 13 draw in. Keith, you and I still stick around for the number 10 Red Win. Let's go back to that last effort on that replay back at Pimlico for Claudio Gonzalez.
Yeah, this was not good.
No.
Troubled backstretch run again. If I just didn't have enough room to put everything in. So we wanted to drop inside going into the backstretch, and was kind of, another horse came up inside, and she reacted to that, and she never got comfortable the rest of the way.
Look at her.
And poor Axel, he had to deal with this and was just steadying and checking along. And you want to talk about taking the run out of a horse. That kind of trouble will do it. She tried to make a little run through the stretch, only gets beat 2 and change. Going to pick it up down to the inside here, leaving mid-stretch. I thought all in all, a willing effort. We've got some scratches in here. This horse likes to get covered up and works good trips inside out. We'll see if Cruz can kind of draft her in early, get her to relax behind horses, and then make a move from there, either outside or inside, when the real running begins.
And ultimately, while you mentioned that, she does like cover, I think that's where the 10 post position, while it is wide, kind of helps Angel just to kind of drift into that a little bit easier. Axel was kind of bogged in down on the rail there. But let's talk about the rail. Speaking of the rail, you also go with Cupid's Dream for Ricky Stillman, Forest Boys. 3 wins. She had a great weekend.
Oh, yes.
Past weekend. She is on a roll. I think she's 8 for 29 in her last starts prior to this weekend so far. So there we have it on the rail. Forest Boys.
Her and Shug Jay Burtis, they've teamed up, and they've been a team a long time and done great. There were some high-quality outfits, and when you see her in situations, it doesn't matter, turf or dirt. Like I say, sometimes people always think of her turf. She can ride a good race on any surface, any type of race. And if you get a chance, there was a little article, I think, this morning on the Racing Biz.
Yes.
Yeah, so go to that, racingbiz.com. Frank Vespi putting out some good stuff.
Yep.
And check that out, because I think she's getting close to a little bit of a milestone, so we're pulling for her. But Cupid's Dream, again, she's steady. The mile is right about the optimum distance. I mean, not a whole lot further. I think she needs everything to kind of go her own way, but I think the way she's drawn against this field, she's going to get that. She's going to be able to save ground and make that move. She's very close to a couple of these horses. Cupid's Dream, Instinctive, Red Wind, they're very close. I think Red Wind on her best will beat those. But, yeah, and Instinctive, I'm going to toss the last as well. That was a really tough trip outside the whole way.
There we go. Being fair, 10-1-3-4 for Keith Fustel. Next to this last leg of the early pick 4 also starts the Rainbow Pick 6 in race number 5. And we have I believe we have a nice little carryover for that Rainbow Pick 6. It is coming up in just a second. I believe before I left for the last race, it was about 8,200.
Okay. What's that?
We're just going to,
six, yeah.
Yep, there we go. 82.39. Of course, that's going to be climbing up by the time we get to race number 5. Let's take a look at my ticket really quick. And, wow, there's a lot of 5 and 6s going on there.
Look at this. Is that a miss punch?
No. So we'll get into that. But with the way this has been going, I either had to, with a ticket like this, when you're going 6 different races, you have to go short or you had to go way wide. And no, there's no way to afford a ticket like I could have gone a little bit wider. So there's the structure. Take what you want, pick and choose. What's great is that when we give you these tickets, it's a bit of an a la carte situation. So take with what you will. $19.20 ticket for a Rainbow Pick 6.
I'm going to take your 5 and 6s all day. We'll just go ahead and box them for the card. Maybe I'll toss in the hammer. Jack Harmon's, he likes the 1-5, and he also does he does play the 5-1-6.
Okay.
So there's your 3-horse
Those
box for the
numbers
day.
were running around a little bit in my picks there, so we'll get into that.
He drives us crazy out there, Callie. Back in
he?
the day, oh yeah, he just cashes. We put all the time and effort into it, and there's the numbers game for the hammer, 1-5-6, and gets it done. So,
Hammer down there for the
yes.
start of Rainbow Pick 6 here.
Yep.
And it does begin in this claiming 10,000. 6 furlongs on the dirt, which have never won 3 for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 8, Quinn Cannon. Scratch in the 10, Pressing Concern. Keith, you have sponsored on top. This is in the barn of Damon Diel-DeVico. Angel Cruz.
Yeah, another dropper for Damon.
Yep.
Little stat on him, though. Last 3 years, 6 for 21, 29%, with this 50% tag drop. And in for this level between 5 and 10,000, it works. It is a positive ROI. This horse has regressed definitely since the beginning of the year. He's not quite what he once was, it looks like. Maybe this break, a little freshing, will do him some good. He got a little half-mile token work in 49. And I think with Cruz, can just kind of slide up just to the inside of this flow and make a move. It's kind of maybe a now or never thing for sponsored. If he gets close to his best, I like saying the B-plus race, he should be 1-2. The horse to fear, really, you got the 1 Grand Escape. Your horse is in. You got 4th, will be a pace factor. Also the 5, Trip Hat for Jamie Ness. First-time Lasix. Got dogged at 6.5, still got it done. Is a 3-time winner, as is the 1, taking advantage of the condition here. I think adding Lasix and Barbosa will be put in the fold early and is shown to be able to handle the pressure. 3-5-6 Notion to tap. It's my horse here also to make that better run off the pace. This horse is setting up, showing a little bit more tactical speed the last couple of races, but I think it's going to be a little bit further back against this group. But man, save ground, work a trip from there, Grant, and he's the one to do that. He works that trip a lot.
We'll see who works out the trip the best there in race number 5, and we will be back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's card.
And they're off.
Welcome back, and we begin things with race number 6 that kicks off the late pick 5. And Keith, a bit of an update.
Yes.
The late pick 5 did not hit yesterday.
No. I mean, you saw some of those prices through the latter part of the card.
Yep.
Kicking it off with Street Rockin' for Lynn Ashby at $37. Graded on a curve, $11. Brother Conway, $13. One like a 3 to 5. And Dream River at $92.40. Yeah, certainly we're going to have a carryover for the late pick 5, so don't miss out on that. We'll have a strong, I think, pull when it's all said and done.
We also have the Jackpot Super High 5 race that is in race 6 and only race 6, and it is in this allowance for the girls.
Okay.
Going short on the turf today, 3 years old and up. Scratching the 8, Smoochin' with Cindy, the 9, Princess Palmer, the 10, Air 1, the 12, Made to Hustle, 13, 14, and 15. Those are all re-entered. We may see them a little bit later this weekend. But Keith, you go with Band on a Run. I just left this horse right off of my ticket. This is his 3rd-time starter for Mike Merriman. First time against winners. Let's take a look at that replay from that last time out, which resulted in a win over at Pimlico.
Debut was promising. Off slow. You see the comment, 3 and 4 wide. Made really a menacing move in debut. Kept on willingly to the wire. Then the blinkers went on. Second start. Broke sharp. Was well rated up front with Barbosa. Took a little challenge around the turn and then see you later when he shook her up top of the stretch. Short comment, eager, okay? Widened, driving. Plenty left in the tank there. There is some good speed in this race. Meet Me at the Beach will be quick. Wise and Elegant, I think, is forward. But I think Band on a Run doesn't necessarily need the lead. I think Barbosa's going to work out the trip on or near the lead and get it done here. Right back at you for Michael Merriman.
And there you also have Awesome Jazz in your exacta. Another Merriman, Edwin Merriman, with Jean Brusino in the saddle today.
You've got her. She just kind of runs her race from the back of the pack. Last time out, swung out very wide against a similar group. Just can she get enough set up? She'll be rolling late, and she'll probably be about 6 or 7 wide. She's comfortable there with that. I've seen it might slip up the rail, but I think she's going to fire late against this group. Angel Art ran very well for 40 a couple races back on the turf. traffic at the 316s, had to wait. That turn back worked. I think her back, off the turf last time in the 5/8, not a bad race. A little improvement from prior dirt efforts, meaning she's holding form to me. I think this is another one that's dangerous when working out a clean sweep. There's Marquez again. He's rolling. He might keep it going today.
Keep a sharp eye out. 75324 Keith Fusel in race number 6 that kicks off the late pick 5. Let's go to the next race that kicks off the late pick 4 in race number 7. This is a starter allowance, 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Big scratch in the number 6 and Not Away. You and I both end up landing on the number 5 Most Cephas, of course, running super well last time out, the last couple times out for Mario Saray Jr.
Yeah, I mean, wow, off the claim, just huge runaway wins, and last time showed a little different dimension. You had to go back on the page, the show when he was kind of sitting just off of it and making a move into the pace, but showed speed inside, took back, went around another bid, and drew off on that sloppy sealed surface. This is a tougher group today, I think, all in all together. So we'll see if he can make it 3 straight off the claim for Saray. Martina Rojas right back at you. Yeah, I think and gets a little bit of an assist with Not a Way out, but there is some other speed to the outside. Pit stop, man, maybe he's lost a little bit of a step. His last couple, Timonium Charlestown, hasn't been as close as I thought early, but I think here he will be part of that flow.
He's had a great campaign, so he might be burnt out a little bit from doing a lot, just running so hard. But as you said, back to, easier, back to his home base. I think that might be a little bit easier. You also include the number 7 Grand Wiser for Georgie Mayamo. Ionel Beto gets the call. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
August 10th at that last win at Penn National.
Yeah. What race did we go to? The 5th or the? I thought. August 10th. You're right. I was looking at Charge to Victory. Red truck. No, anyhow, just got the duel and was able to kind of roll and go by. This one, again, leaving the home base at Penn National is my biggest concern. He certainly keys up against some of the horses that I've seen run around this mid-Atlantic area and be salty in the starter allowance conditions. His one turning back, I think it works. A little bit of a slower pace last time. Didn't quite have that finish. I think back with what he's going to see in front of him, he'll make a strong run from off the pace.
Absolutely. 57324 Keith Fusel there in race number 7. Race number 8 is a restricted allowance. A mile and 16th on the turf for the girls 3 and up. No scratches here. You and I both go with Naval Empire on top for Mike Trombetta, Victor Carrasco. Let's take a look at that effort in the Nellie Mae Cox.
Yeah, I mean, she's another one. The blinkers went on 3 races ago. Big effort. I was going to show that. I think we showed it before, where she was wide and just swooped and powered away July the 14th. But a good effort here in the Nellie Cox down at Colonial. Wasn't quite able to get up, but worked out this trip. We're going to see now shifting out a little bit top of the stretch. Makes a good run. Closes up about 3 that final 1/8 of a mile, but just can't reel in the leader. Coming back to Laurel. Doesn't have to ship. Just, you got Lasix back on. It's a move that's worked very well now with you going off Lasix on Lasix. It's a good percentage for Trombetta. Inside post can stay forward enough. I think was really hampered by that wide trip in the searching. But Trombetta, he looks like this. He's got this race surrounded with the 1 Naval Empire and the 7 Life, Love, and Laughter.
Yes, absolutely. You also include the number 6 Circle Home. Miguel Vera comes out of some decent efforts, especially returning back to Pimlico, and the number 5 underneath as well. Money's Worth, Graham Motion, William Humphrey.
Yeah, Money's Worth Motion has been good. Route to sprint on. Sprint to route on the turf of the last several years. It's where I just wonder. There's a couple other horses I think are going to be forward. Is she going to be able to kind of make a move and keep going into the flow, especially with some horses like Naval Empire and Life, Love, and Laughter who have that experience going longer? I think will bring a finish to the table. I look for the 7 to be forward. Took them a long way in the searching. Lasix back on for that one. And Circle Home. She has to improve a little bit. But at first glance, she looked like maybe a 1-run closer on the sprint, closing sprinter. No, I mean, she took and was able to adapt to the route of ground at Pimlico. It's a little bit tougher field, but a really good family. I saw David Hayden over there, Dark Hollow. They had a real nice consignment. I think they had the Circle Home sister. I think Flit had a full anyhow. It sold for good money. I think it was by Honor AP, so they did well there. But Circle Home, definitely versatile, and I think can pick up a piece. She's got to improve a little bit if she's going to get by this 1 and the 7.
And let's go ahead to race number 9 as Keith Fusel goes 1-7-6-5 in race number 8. And race number 9 is also an allowance, but this is on the dirt. 6 furlongs here today for the girls 3 and up. Scratch in the number 3, Willful Desire. So big enough scratch for me. But let's talk about Super Renee. Kieran McGee, a price of 15 to 1 on the morning line. We have a special Keith Fussell stat on this one.
Hey, can we get some value here? Let's hope.
Ooh, look
Kieran,
at that.
last 6 months on the dirt, 8 for 13, 62%, 10 for 13 in the money with these claimers going to an allowance / starter allowance kind of way they carried it in Formulator. ROI of 612. And when she won that last race, got to the front, that was second off the claim. I turned to Bill, my partner up there with Equibase, and said, other than next time out. I think it's going to happen, and I think she can get it done. Catches a pretty good group here, but I think, again, I think she's versatile enough to get positioned if she breaks well on or near the lead. I think she's going to bring a finish. That was a gaudy win last time out. Steps up here, but I think we'll be tough right back. Let's hope we can get that price.
You also include Desert Dalliance here for Kelly Breen, Horacio Caramanos. Trying to figure out where this one is going to be placed, but that last time out was a pretty good indication of a
just trying to figure if she's a little bit better sprinting or routing. I think maybe has a more powerful run sprinting. Had a couple excuses off the break. You see that broke in, bumped from the break from April to June, and then a head turned unprepared at the break. Came back, chased the pace at Parks, out wide, churned on well with a good buyer figure, has numbers to go back on. There's plenty of horses that want the front in this race. Look for Desert Dalliance to kind of be rated back in mid-pack with Karamanos, be able to save that ground. I think we'll bring a finish against this group.
1, 2, 4, 5. Keith Fussell goes in race number 9. Now let's get to our finale of Friday. Our Friday finale. There we have it. Claiming 16,000, which have never won 2. A mile and an eighth on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. No scratches in this one. Let's talk about your top selection, the number 7 Sigmund, and let's go back to that last effort out at Pimlico.
Yeah, just never really got clear for a long way. Was kind of rated up behind rivals. No real fault at all, I don't think, by the rider. Just kind of the situation. And, sometimes, again, similar to the trip we saw earlier, you can't, start and stop. So you sat there stalled. You're a 2 in life, 16 down to 12 kind of. Are you going to really bring it? But I tell you what, was able to work outside through the stretch. It kept on with a little bit of gusto. So there, against this group, again, with Martina Rojas dropping a little weight, sits, I think, somewhere mid-pack and can get it done in the nightcap.
And you also go with the number 4 underneath, Bail Out, Horacio De Paz, Victor Carrasco coming from those efforts at Colonial, getting better and better, just consistent gelding.
Consistent, yes. 14 seconds out of 36 tries. That's the toughest thing to get by is the 1 for 36.
Yep.
Our Equibase chart callers picked up that trouble last time out down at Colonial, a check and a churn on. Again, closer to that high 60, 70 buyer figure with a horse that I think against this group is going to be fairly close. But, man, that record is a little bit tough. I like Sigmund a little bit better to follow through.
And there we have it. Keith Fussell, 7, 4, 8, 10, a lot to offer throughout all of the races, 1 through 10 here today on Friday. Let's go to lightning round to dive a little bit deeper into those picks with Keith Fussell, starting with race number 3 of value play, your first value play in Acades Verde for Mancia and Monterey.
Yeah, Acades Verde last time, sloppy track, open 8. Back to the condition today with a couple horses with some sketchier form, but I'm going to use them in the pace flow. Jason Takes Long, and what was the other one? That's right, outside, Ace 9-9. So I think they're going to provide the pace, but Acades Verde has run some big races over this racetrack. I think back to the condition will bring a run on this fast track.
Your best bet of the day goes to race number 8 in the number 1 Naval Empire, running second in the Nellie Mae Cox for Mike Trombetta and Victor Carrasco.
The blinkers have made a lot of difference. They've helped this one out a lot. Inside post works back on Lasix is going to move her up a little bit. She's got the best finish, I think, out of this group.
And your second value play, your last value play of the day, is in race number 9 on the number 1 Super Renee for Kieran McGee and Martina Rojas.
Barnes red hot. We've seen a couple of these horses just run off the screen recently. I think the trend can continue at hopefully a pretty good price. Super Renee, when she won last time, I said, okay, let's get the A other than knocked out. We showed you the stat. We've got some things in her favor. She's going to have to break well from that inside to get Poe, but I'll take a shot at the price that we might get.
And with Martina Rojas on, I had a conversation with Kieran McGee last week where he's just been having some great luck with Martina, and the horses his comment was the horses just run for her.
Yes.
So So there we have it in the double value play and best bet. Just wanted to touch really quickly for all those MGC workers. A health fair coming up. Of course, this year's health fair will be held in the Laurel Rec Room from 9 to 1:30 p.m. at the MedStar Mobile Health Center in that parking lot. So services this year include flu shots, blood work, blood pressure screenings, but those services will be provided by MedStar Sports Medicine, just one of the leaders here for jockey health in racing overall. So thanks to them.
Time to get a checkup, I guess.
I guess so. My mom was getting after me to get some blood work done, so I might need to pop on up there before the races happen on Sunday. But we are going to leave it with Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches and an exciting Friday card.
All right, good luck, everybody.